All right, welcome in to Pick and Roll with the Presley Bros, and we are here, man. It's the Final Four. Dalton, I don't know about you, it's bittersweet to me because
Oh, always.
on one hand, it's like this is the pinnacle of college basketball. This is like what we lead up to all season long. We have got some great matchups, so it's going to be awesome. I love the Final Four. There's no event like it. We've been. It's amazing. That's the sweet part about it. But the bad part is that basketball's over. Like, after the Final Four, college basketball and the NCAA tournament, it's gone for months, and
Yeah.
that's just tough, man. So, I'm excited, though. How about you?
Yeah, for sure. I'm very excited. I love this, but like you said, it is sad that college basketball's coming down to an end. But stay tuned because we'll keep college basketball going even during the off season. So we'll talk about transfer portal, talk about coaching opportunities. I mean, the North Carolina head coaching job is open, probably one of the most coveted positions in all of college basketball. And Bill Self might be leaving Kansas, so that's probably even a more coveted position to
Hey,
be Kansas Jayhawk. But who knows what's going to happen? Just stay tuned with us. We're going to put out videos. We're going to still put out a ton of content. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel.
dude, John Rothstein, who I love from CBS, um, he has more, obviously, way more contacts and,
Oh yeah.
influence than us, but I was listening to him today, and he said that UNC is waiting on Dusty May is one that they would like, and Tommy Lloyd.
That's
So
what I've
two
heard as
two
well.
guys in the Final Four. I don't see them leaving, but they're kinda waiting on those guys. So,
I I wouldn't see Dusty May leaving because a lot of his team I think is going to come back. But I don't know how old they are, but
I don't know.
I mean I know like Elliot Cadeau and Jackson Lindenberg have to go, but like Arizona's whole team's pretty much going to the NBA. So
Yeah.
that might give Tommy Lloyd more incentive to consider going to North Carolina. I mean, he's put this team on top. Like they've been really good the past few years, and they finally have gotten to the point where they got over the hump. Now can they win it all?
Yeah.
That's the next question. So
Well, that's something we'll address in another video. But for now, let's get into talking about this Final Four. Dalton, before we kind of break down both matchups, what do you think about this Final Four just in general? Is it shocking to you? Are you surprised by these teams? Is it something that you expected? Do you think it's going to be good matchup, like good games or bad games? Like what do you think?
I mean, the only team I'm really surprised by is UConn. Honestly, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Dan Hurley, but you can't deny that he is an incredible coach. Since he's won his first national championship in 2023, he is now 17-1 in March Madness. So that is really impressive feat. And the only team he lost to was Florida last year by 2, who
Yeah,
ended up winning the national championship. So
it's
you can't
insane.
deny that he's an incredible coach. They had an incredible game over Duke. Braylon Mullins with a shot of the year. But I actually picked, if you go back and watch our video, I picked 3 of the 4 Final Four teams. So
Ooh.
the only one that didn't make it was Michigan State. I picked Michigan State to beat UConn, then Michigan State to beat Duke. But, it is what it is. I am very glad it's not all 1 seeds this year. It's a little bit different. I mean, it's still the
Yeah.
higher seeds, but I've heard this argument like, oh, we're so disappointed not a double-digit seed is in the Final Four. Well, I don't really want to watch Michigan versus Loyola Chicago like it was a few years ago when Loyola Chicago just got absolutely obliterated. Like, yeah, they made this crazy run, but then you get obliterated in the Final Four. It's
Who did
like
they play? I can't even remember.
Loyola Chicago played Michigan.
Oh, it was Michigan?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's why I was saying that. Like, they played Michigan and got obliterated
I
by
don't
it was
remember that.
when whatever his name was on the team, Mo Wagner or whatever his name is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Wagner.
but I just don't want to watch those games. So like we have incredible basketball. We have 2 versus 3, UConn versus Illinois, great, one of the best defenses versus one of the best offenses, and then we have the 2 best teams in the country, in my opinion,
Yeah.
Arizona and Duke. I think they're both better than Arizona and Michigan. I mean, I think they're both better than Duke. And now I know Duke beat Michigan, but that's just my opinion. I'm gonna stay true to that opinion. But what do you think about them? Are you shocked or surprised by any team?
I mean, Listen, I honestly I could see each of these teams making the Final Four, like before the tournament. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't really see UConn all that much just because I feel like they had stumbled down the stretch and got absolutely worked by St. John's. I just expected them to lose a little bit earlier, but still, people were picking UConn and like I really deep down, you know this team's good enough to get there. I didn't really see them getting past, especially had they met Duke, which they did. I didn't see them getting past that game, but they did. I picked them to lose to St. John's in this tournament, but they're probably the most, which is weird to say, they're the team that I did not see coming the most, like you. But
Yeah.
again, it's UConn. They're like 35-5. So like it's not far fetched at all, to
Yeah.
say this team could have made it. We both picked Illinois. I don't think a ton of people had Illinois, although I think I saw some people picking them. In fact, I saw something the other day that said someone was saying this was Illinois' bracket to lose, their portion of the bracket. So like people expected Illinois and of course Arizona and Michigan, but having these types of teams means amazing matchups, like really, really good games, especially, man, Arizona and Michigan. But I will say this, everybody's saying Arizona and Michigan is like pretty much whoever wins that game's winning the championship. They've already got it wrapped up. Do not count out UConn and Illinois. Okay. And here's
Oh, no.
why is UConn has shown in this tournament that they're really hard to kill. They're really hard to put away. And Illinois is I mean, they're really insane on offense. And now they're showing a really good defensive side of
Mhm.
themselves. And so you got to watch out for either of these teams. All of these teams can win it. So
Yeah. I
watch
mean,
out. Go ahead.
that Illinois team that played Houston in Houston, I don't know if anyone's beating that team.
They played really
Look
well that night.
with how and like the spread doesn't show how much in control they were of that game because they were in control from pretty much start to finish
Yeah.
at Houston. I mean, it was 2 miles away from their campus. So a literal home game in the Sweet 16 and just absolutely waxed them.
Yeah.
I just don't know if anyone's beating like that kind of caliber team. Now, are they going to show up like that again? Who knows? A different venue, different stakes. I am rooting for Illinois. That's my personal opinion. And I'm rooting for Arizona. I don't like Michigan. I don't like UConn. So that's that. And I picked Arizona to win it all. So
Yeah.
I I'm gonna rock with that, and I hope that ends up happening. But we're gonna dive
Yeah.
into Illinois versus UConn right now.
All right, let me say this about Illinois and UConn. So they have played this season, and this was way back November 28th. So like around Thanksgiving time, and UConn just pretty much dominated Illinois. I'll be honest, it was number 7 versus number 13. Illinois was number 13. I'm gonna read a little bit about this, Dalton, and then I'll hand it over to you for your keys and analysis and your pick.
Yeah,
UConn literally beat Illinois in every statistical category except for free throws. But like field goals, they dominated. Field goal percentage, they dominated. 3-pointers, they dominated. 3-point percentage, they dominated. Rebounds, they had a 5 rebound advantage. Offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds had the advantage. Assists, 9 more assists in Illinois, 2 more blocks, 4 more steals, 1 less turnover, tied in points in the paint. I mean, they really pretty much handled them. And the score was 74-61. They really limited Illinois' offense, and they were up by 11 at half and won the second half by 12. So they pretty much had the lead the entire game. So I'm looking at Illinois. Um, it's weird. Keaton Wogler only played 14 minutes in this game and had 3 points.
yeah. He wasn't the player he is now.
Yes. David Merkovich only played 18 minutes and had 8 points, which I feel like he's almost always on the court now.
Yeah,
So Jake Davis, who comes off the bench, had 0 points in that game, and he's really come on. I would say this. Yes, that game did happen. And yes, UConn dominated, which could happen again. But I think Illinois has become a much better team since then. They went on a really good winning streak, during the season, and I think it played really well after they lost to UConn. So I think they're a better team now, and now they're starting to get the defensive side figured out. So I just wanted to throw that out there that this game has already happened, and it was dominated by UConn. That's definitely a possibility again. But Dalton, what do you think about this? What are your keys to this game? What's your pick?
Yeah, I mean, I have two keys pretty much. The first one is turnovers. You saw that is what killed Duke. If you watch the game, that's what killed them. UConn had 5 to Duke's 13, and then the detrimental turnover from Caden Boozer when Braylon Mullins hit that game winner. So can Illinois take care of the ball? They're a low turnover team. I mean, they don't turn over the ball much at all. Which is impressive with how fast they play and having one of the best offenses in the country. Very, very similar to Alabama, but better. They do a better overall offense than Alabama and definitely better on the defensive end. And then my second one is the 3-point line. Duke did an incredible job at holding UConn. Now, they ended up losing. Obviously, we know they did, but they did an incredible job of holding them to a bad 3-point percentage. They shot 5 of 23 from the 3-point line.
Mhm.
Usually a team that relies on the three pretty heavily. I mean, they go inside out with Terrace Reed, but like Alex Caravan, Braylon Mullins, solo ball, that's like their main game is shooting threes. So if you can hold them to that same percentage, I like Illinois' chance. I think Illinois is going to win this game. I think they're hot right now. UConn, they just got a really close call. Illinois is actually projected to win. They're only a 2.5-point favorite, but 59% over 41% UConn. And I think Illinois is going to win this game. Not in a really close one. I like the way they're playing right now. I like Brad Underwood, the European guys,
Pipeline.
the European pipeline, and Keaton Wagler and Kylan Boswell is going to take them to their first national championship in my lifetime, at least.
Man, I was trying to pull up this like I know you can't see it on your end, Dalton, but everybody can see it, and on my end, I can see it. That I've got the bracket pulled up, which this is my bracket, by the way, guys. I'm trying to pull up the preview, but for some reason, it's not. It's just not working. The preview is not popping up. Oh, I see. It takes it to another thing. Sorry, guys, on the screen, it's not popping up. What I wanted to show you guys was that on the ESPN analyzer, their predictor says that Illinois has a 59% chance to win this game, which is kind of shocking, just considering what happened earlier this season. But I think they're basing this on what the whole season. KenPom, Dalton, can you guess where they're ranked in KenPom, Illinois and UConn?
Probably really close to each other. I'm probably going to say 7 and 8. UConn 7, Illinois 8.
Illinois is 4. Connecticut is 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So defensive wise, no, offensive wise, sorry. Illinois has now taken the number 1 spot. They are number 1 offensively. Connecticut is 28th offensively.
Yeah, they struggle. They do have some woes.
There's a gap there. Now, defensively, UConn's 9 and Illinois is 20. There's a little bit closer of a gap there, but still a little gap in UConn's favor defensively. But metrics-wise, Illinois is better overall as a team, even though they have a worse record. And they had the head-to-head and lost to UConn. But Illinois as a team overall is better. And that's just based on what's happened over this entire season. I think that's what's kind of, I guess, factoring into ESPN analytics, picking Illinois to win 59% to 41%. So now remind me again, Dalton, what'd you say your keys were?
My keys were the 3-point line and turnovers, which, I mean, like you could say that, I guess, for most game, but just the way Duke lost and having 13 to 5 turnovers. And then obviously, like I said, the detrimental one at the end. I think if Illinois takes better care of the ball and if Duke takes better care of the ball, they win that game easily. I mean, all they should have done right there is hold on to the ball. That's it. If they wouldn't have passed it one time, they won the game.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. You live to fight another day.
Yeah. Here's my one of my keys, and it's an obvious key. I mean, at least I think it should be an obvious key. I think how Illinois handles Terrace Reed is a really, really big factor in this game because Terrace Reed has been on an absolute tear recently. I mean, this is an all-time tournament performance here from Terrace Reed. I mean, really, he has been phenomenal this entire tournament. And I'm going back to this Duke game to look, you're playing against one of the best teams in the country. Um, but Terrace Reed had 26, 9, and 3 in that game. He led his team in every statistical category. 26, 9, and 3. And then we've already talked about how he had like 31 points and 27 rebounds against Furman in the first round. I mean, he has been on a tear. They are going to get him the ball. At least they're going to try. Right. And when I look at Illinois, yes, they got some big guys, right? Like, Tomislav Ivičić, David Mirković, these guys are pretty big dudes, but like, I don't know if they have a guy who, is as good as and big as Terrace Reed, you know?
No.
Like who are they gonna put on him, Dalton? Who do you think?
They're probably gonna put Thomas Love. I think you have to because
It's
of
gotta
because
be.
David Mirkovic, I think, is too small, like too short.
Looks like Mirković, I'm looking at this. Mirković is 6'9", and Tomislav is 7'1". I didn't realize he was that tall, and he's 255. It just seems like Terrace Reed is so much bigger. I don't know why.
It does seem that way.
I mean, like, he just seems so huge. I don't know.
By the way, Terrace Reed is averaging 22 points a game in the March Madness.
Yeah, and rebounds, it's easily double digits.
Oh yeah, it has to be. I mean, he had 40 something. Didn't he have 40 rebounds in 2 games?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, he had 40 rebounds in 2 games in the NCAA tournament, first 2. Look, he's 6'11", 265, so he's got about 10 pounds on Ivičić. I think that's who you're gonna have to put on him is Tomislav Ivičić to start it off. I just don't know, man. I don't know how good he's going to be against Terrace Reed. Ivičić. I worry. That's again one of my keys. Obviously, is what I'm saying here. Is I worry about that.
I think he moves a lot slower than Terrace Reed too.
Yeah, he definitely moves a little bit slower. Terrace Reed, I mean, just against Duke, he was just owning them. Could not stop him. And without Terrace Reed, they would have easily lost that game. So I'm trying to look at this last game. Okay, Dalton. Oh. Okay, listen to this. In the first game, Dalton, Terrace Reed had only played 15 minutes. He had 2 points, 5 rebounds.
In the first game of the season?
No, in the first Illinois versus UConn, the first matchup.
Oh.
Terrace Reed had 15 minutes and 2 points. He is not going to have that in this game. I can just tell you that right now. He's going to play at least 25 minutes, probably way more than that. And I mean,
35.
And they beat Illinois even with him playing. Now, again, Keaton Wagler only played a few minutes in that first game as well. So maybe that'll kind of even out. So that's my first key. How does Illinois handle Terrace Reed? And if he goes off, I think that obviously bodes well for UConn. And I think it's going to be really, really tough for Illinois.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my first key. I think, we were talking about how much, different, Illinois has been on defense. I think that they can handle him. I'm not going to say that they're going to like completely shut him down, but I think that they can handle. Their defense has been really good in this tournament. So that's kind of one of my keys. I guess my other key is, and I don't know, this is very, very broad, is how does UConn just defend this, all the options for Illinois?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got 3-point shooters everywhere. And yes, they're a really good defensive team. UConn is. There's no doubt about it. But man, they've got Keaton Wagler. You've got Mirković. You've got Ivičić, Humrichhaus. All of these guys, how are they going to handle this onslaught, and somebody would say, well, they did it the first time around, which they did. Illinois did not shoot very good from three in this game. Their field goal percentage was 32 overall. They were 6 of 29 from three, which is 21%.
Yeah.
So they limited them in that first game. I don't see that happening again in this game. I think Illinois will shoot a little bit better. But I'm just curious to see how that plays out. Really, I guess UConn defending the three.
Yeah.
So
Duke only shot 15 threes, and you're going to probably at least double. Illinois is probably going to double that at least, depending on how well they're shooting. If they're shooting really well, they might even hoist up 40 threes because they do have literally 1 through 5 can shoot the three. And their worst shooter is probably Andrei Stojakovic, which is kind of ironic since his dad was such a sharp shooter. Yeah, he is. So
he's just a pure. Go ahead.
I was just saying he's really a pure slasher, kind of the opposite of his dad, but he can still shoot the three. I mean, he's not as good as the other players, but he can still hit them.
So UConn is 34th in the nation in 3-point percentage defense. And that's pretty solid. And they held Illinois, in check. Illinois is 41st in their own right here, but in 3-point percentage defense. But I would expect a little bit better 3-point shooting from Illinois this time out. And again, I think they've gotten better. Keaton Wagler, again, did not play very much in that first matchup. So I think that kind of bodes well for Illinois. And I think they're hitting their stride. Like you said, they've been really good. And here's, I guess, kind of another key. And we've already talked about, we just mentioned him. I love Stojakovic, dude. I thought he was the difference in that game against Iowa. Every time he touched the ball, it just went. And I can't remember what his plus minus was in that game, but they talked about it in the middle of the game. And they were like plus 14 or something with him on the court. And it was bad without him. He is such a difference maker. And how tall do you think he is, Dalton?
Andrei Stojakovic, probably 6'2"?
6'7".
Oh.
He is 6'7".
Wow, I did not realize that.
And he was really good on defense. I thought he was the biggest single player. He's 6'7", 205, Dalton.
I did not realize he was that big.
So I think he's a matchup nightmare. I think he can cause problems for the opposing team, on offense and on defense. He can guard whoever with his size.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, Dalton, you picked Illinois, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm taking Illinois. Give me the Illini or whatever you say.
Illini, Dalton. You always struggle with that, dude.
I do. Illini. There we go.
Yeah, look, I'm looking at this, and Stojakovic only had 3 points in that first matchup. And he went
that won't happen again.
He went 1 of 7 from the field. So I'm going to go Illinois as well. And I know because I picked my championship game was Illinois versus Arizona. And so I'm giving away my pick for the next game, but I can't move from that now. I can't, I've got to stick with that. And so I'm going to ride with Illinois here. I think they get their revenge. I just think they're playing so well on really both ends of the court now. And I think they're better than they were. And I think UConn is not as good as they were when they first played, which is odd to say because they're in the Final Four. But I think that's just the case. I think it's going to be a really good game, but I think Illinois gets their revenge. And I think Stojakovic is going to be the difference. So, all right. Next matchup, dude. I think these are the two best teams, have been all season long. Tell me what you just said about them, their ranking.
Oh, yeah. They've been ranked top 3 since December. Both these teams, Arizona, we're on Arizona and Michigan now. Both teams have been top 3 since December, and they've proven it. They've
insane
more than proved that they deserve it. They're both incredible. They have superstars on both sides of the both teams have superstars. Both teams have the role players. They just do everything right. And I'm going to be honest. I really do think, like you said earlier, don't count Illinois and UConn. I really do think, unfortunately, whoever wins this game is probably going to win the national championship. Now, again, anything can happen. It is March Madness, but that's just how I see it. I just don't think I'll give Illinois more of a chance if Michigan wins, honestly. But if Arizona wins, I'm not sure anybody can beat them. I'm going ahead and telling you right now, like I don't think Michigan's going to beat Arizona. They are so good. They have everything you want. They got a future lottery pick, Braden Burries. They got rebounding all over the place with Toby Awaka and Mo Krivas, Koa Pete, who kind of took over in that Purdue game. I don't know if you saw it. He would just go down the floor, pop that little free throw mid range, make it every single time.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just so good. My biggest key for this game is kind of simple and kind of just out there for everyone to see is rebounding. And Michigan relies so much on rebounding to win games, and that's why they beat Alabama. That's why they ended up beating Alabama because Alabama could not rebound the ball in the second half. And obviously Alabama struggles rebounding the ball anyways, but I don't think Arizona is going to struggle nearly as much. Obviously, we know they're not going to struggle nearly as much rebounding the ball. Somehow, some way, Michigan's 51.9% to Arizona's 48.1 on ESPN. I strongly disagree with that. They both average these teams are so similar. 88 points for Michigan, 87 points for Arizona. Hold teams Arizona to holds teams to 69 points, Michigan to 70. These teams are just so similar. We are in for an incredible matchup. I think Arizona is going to be too much in the end because they just have better pieces on the floor overall. Like a Day Mara really isn't that great. Like he's huge, but he's not that great of a player. Mo Krivas can easily guard him, can take care of him, and they can really match up against Michigan like no other team has. Like, have we seen a team just be able to match up perfectly against Michigan? Not really. And this team can do it. So give me Arizona to win and give me Arizona to win it all.
All right, we'll talk about that in just a second.
Yeah.
Because we're both going to have Arizona, Illinois in the championship game. Look, I was trying to see if NCAA would kind of give me how many paint points per game, that a team has, and I'm not really seeing it here. But yeah, you're right. Pretty much ESPN has this 52% for Michigan, 48% for Arizona. And I mean, that's about as close as it gets in terms of predictions.
Yeah.
These are two phenomenal teams, man. But Michigan is 1 in KenPom, Arizona is 2. And it's crazy. Defensively, Michigan's ranked first, Arizona's ranked second. Offensively, Arizona's ranked fourth, and Michigan's ranked fifth. So they're just a spot behind each other on each of those.
Yeah.
It's just these teams have just been awesome all season long. They've got great resumes. They've had games where they've blown people out. They've had games where, they pulled out close ones. They've had games where they, both kind of lost some games. I mean, but not many. Obviously, they only have 2. Well, Michigan has 3 losses, I guess, right? And
Yeah.
Arizona only has 2. Man, this is I'm so excited for this game. And yes, I do kind of wish they were on opposite sides of the bracket for this to be the championship game. But like we said, don't count those other teams out. What's my key to this game, man?
It's hard to say. That's why
Yeah, it is. It really is hard to say. But I'm just looking at. My mind just keeps going back to the paint. Like that's why I was trying to look up the paint points per game, and I can't find it.
They both rely on it heavily, and if you watch college basketball, they know that. They know that both teams rely heavily scoring in the paint.
Yeah. I'm looking at this, dude. This thing keeps going off on ESPN. I don't know if y'all can hear that. So I don't know. The matchup, the thing about Michigan is the bigs. I mean, it's always about the bigs. Their guard play is solid. It's not great. It's not going to blow you away. But the bigs for Michigan, how does Arizona handle the bigs? That's my key to the game because You got Kribas, right? Who else do you throw at them? You got to throw at Toby Awaka, right? And
Yeah.
that's the thing. I think that more so than any other team, Arizona is equipped to handle Michigan's bigs. Because I agree with you. I don't think Adai Mara is like just an incredible, absolute stud that's unstoppable.
No,
I think overall, Morez Johnson's actually a better player, but
I would agree.
they both struggled against Alabama. But anyways, that was a fast-paced game and kind of different for them to keep up with that pace. But like you look at Arizona, and like I said, they've got Mo Kribas, they've got Toby Awaka, who is like he's not gonna match the height of those guys. Toby Awaka 6'8".
Yeah.
But you talk about a dude who's gonna go get a rebound, that's him, right? He will
And you're
do
not
it.
bullying. You're not bullying Toby Awaka either.
No, no, you're not gonna bully him at all. He's 255, 6'8", 255. He is stout. Um,
Yeah.
and so you got him, and you've got a 7-footer, 7'2" Mo Kribas, who's gonna, I think, match up with Adai Mara.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I think you're and Koa Pete, like he's a solid player. He's 6'8", 235. They're gonna be giving up some height a little bit with whoever guards Morez Johnson, right?
Yeah.
But who would you say is gonna be on Morez? I would think it's
So
Koa
I was
Pete.
I was doing this, and part of me feels like you need to stick Ivan Kurchenkov on Morez Johnson just
Yeah.
because he's probably the worst defender out of everybody on the floor. And Morez Johnson doesn't like as long as he box outs, as long as he gets some box outs in, then he's going to be fine.
He's
Ivan
6'9",
Kurchenkov is.
Dalton. I thought Morez was a little bit taller. So like him and Koa
No, no,
Pete
no,
are
no.
pretty much the same exact size.
Yeah, yeah, but I think you got it. For me, I'm like you got to put Koa Pete on Yaxel Lindenborg
Yeah.
because he's their
Yeah.
best player, and Koa Pete's one of their better defenders. Probably their second best defender, only behind Jaden Bradley. And obviously, Jaden Bradley is going to get the job on Elliot Cadeau. So,
Dude, they might even just at sometimes put Jaden Bradley on what's his name? Linda
on
Borg.
Yaxel, you're actually right. You actually might be right. I didn't even think about that
I mean,
because he's
he's
just such a good
6'3".
defender.
He's given up 6 inches, but like Jaden Bradley is a dog, man. Like,
Also, Yaxel doesn't play in the post either. So it's like you're not going to get posted up by Yaxel Lindenborg. So they might end up doing that, but we'll see what happens. I think they'll probably start out with Koa Pete on him at first and just kind of switch it around. But
yeah.
I think it's going to be we're in for an incredible game no matter what.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's obviously something we got to look at is what's going to happen down there in the post with the rebounds, with the scoring down low. Because I mean, this is a great matchup with these bigs, and I think again, Arizona is equipped to handle these guys more so than many other teams. At the same time, which I'm covering everybody on the court, I guess here. I think another key is the who wins the guard matchup. I think, and disagree with me or agree with me, Don. I think Arizona has better guards.
Oh, 100%. Braden Burries has come in to be one of the he doesn't get the highlights like AJ Divansa and Darren Peterson and Darius Acuff, but he is one of the best guards in the country. He's a freshman. He's going to be a top 10 pick easily. And I think he's like 6'5", 6'6".
He's
shooting
6'4".
guard.
He's 6.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now.
And he is a 3-level scorer. I mean, he'll drive in on you, score on you, mid-range, 3 points. And he is easily one of the best shooting guards in the country, one of the best players in the country. So, and they don't have like Yaxel Lindenborg is going to get picked high, but I don't think he's going to be a lottery pick, mostly because of his age. But Braden Burries is probably the better overall player than Yaxel.
Look,
So
listen, let's be honest. Bryce James is the key to this game.
that's what they've been saying.
Um,
Have you seen that thing? It's like zero. How many Final Fours Arizona has had since Bryce James has been born, and then it's like Bryce James on the team, 1 Final Four.
Exactly.
0 Final Fours, 1 Final Four.
He's the reason. Look, I'm going to zone it down even more, I guess. I think they have the better guards, Arizona. Jaden Bradley, Braden Burries. I don't know if you really consider like I guess Karchinkov is more of like a well, I mean, I guess he's like a 3. You can kinda
Yeah, he's a 3,
you
but,
can
you a
consider
small
him,
forward.
and Del Orso coming off the bench, like, I think their guard play is better than Cadeau and, McKinney and Gale, those guys. Um, I think Jaden Bradley is gonna be the difference. I think he is the key. He is the engine that makes Arizona go. And I think in these moments, he always makes the right play and he always does the right thing. I really like Jaden Bradley. I think he's going to be the difference, and I think he can lock down Elliot Cadeau, which isn't that hard. And
Yeah.
I think he will get buckets, in crunch times and important times. So I'm going to go with Arizona. I think that they agree. I agreed. I think that they have so many weapons offensively and defensively, even more so than Michigan. And I think they're going to win this game in a really, really good game.
Yeah.
So that gives us
I agree.
Arizona and Illinois in the championship game.
Yep.
So
And I already said it. You kinda hinted at it right there. I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'm taking Arizona. I think most people would. I've seen majority of people in the brackets were taking Arizona to win it all anyways. And you kind of just like I said, you just hinted at it. They have so many pieces, and I know Illinois does too. But Arizona is not better offensively, but probably just barely not better offensively on Ken Palm, but way better defensively and has been the better team all year long. I just don't think Illinois has what it takes to beat Arizona, unless this is the only way, in my opinion, similar to Alabama beating Michigan. Can you hit 15 plus threes? If you can hit 15 plus threes, then you have a chance to win. If you don't, I just don't think they're beating Arizona. So that's my key to the game for Illinois. I think Arizona is going to do what they do. They play perfect almost every game, and they're just so talented. I'm taking Arizona to win it all, and Tommy Lloyd to break the curse for the Wildcats.
I'm going Illinois, Dalton.
No, you're not.
I am picking Illinois to win it all, folks.
No, you're not.
Yes, I
This is
am.
a troll. This is
All
a
right, it is
troll.
a troll. You got me. I can't. I got it. Look, I picked Arizona at the beginning. I've got to stick with it. This was my championship game. Was Arizona Illinois? That's what I
Yeah,
picked at
you
the
did have
beginning,
that.
and that's what I'm going to stick with. I picked Arizona to win the game, and I think that Arizona is just one of the most complete teams that we have seen in a while. And you can say the same thing about Michigan, but like Arizona they've just got it, and they just seem like that team this year. And I think that again, the weaponry that they have is going to provide look out to be too much for Illinois to deal with.
Mhm.
It's just you know it's just so much that they can throw at you both defensively and offensively. And I think that look, Illinois kind of struggled in that first half against Iowa, which Iowa
Oh,
has been
yeah.
playing well. Um, I knew, they were going to turn it on eventually, and they did. But like you, if you do that against Arizona, you're gonna get whooped, okay?
Yeah.
And so I think Arizona just has that edge over, Illinois in terms of just the consistency and how much they throw at you. And so I don't know, and I think that would be you look at that game, I think it would be a defensive battle. And so I think Arizona is obviously better on defense, and I think they would, you know, make enough stops there. So I'm going to go with Arizona to win it all over Illinois, and I will win the bracket challenge over Dalton if that happens.
Yeah, he will. Just for you guys out there, we have $100 with our family, and if Illinois does beat UConn, Tucker will win the bracket challenge and get $100. So if that ends up happening, congrats to him. If not, I think I got a small chance, but not much of a chance because our picks are very similar. So
Been a great season, man. And I,
it
I
has
think
been.
it's only fitting that Arizona kind of takes this home and ends their drought in the West Coast drought. I don't think there's been a
Yeah,
championship there since like 98 or something like that. So,
yeah. And I really
man,
don't want the Big Ten to win, personally. I
yeah, I
mean,
don't
I
want the
like
Big Ten to win
Illinois.
either.
I don't want the Big Ten to win.
Yeah. Well, Great season, man. Looking forward to the Final Four. Leave us your picks. Who you think's going to win? What are your keys to each game? Me and Dalton both have Arizona and Illinois. There was no drama in our picks or differences in our picks today. But
Nope.
thanks for tuning in. Take care and God bless you all.
See you, everybody. Roll Tide as always.